Hi everyone, Angela here. I'm really excited to share with you my new design. It's a holder and stand for playing cards. It has 3 pockets that go right across and it folds up flat for easy storage. To make a small plain one, you only need 2 sheets of stiff felt. With extra felt, you can make them multicolored and in different sizes, and also with shaped edges like this. It's really easy and a lot of fun to make and would be a great gift for anyone who likes playing cards. You can find the link for this pattern down below and in the description. For this project, you'll need 2 stiff felt sheets approximately 8 by 12 inches or A4 size. First, remove any stickers from the felt. Turn one of the sheets so it's horizontal. Find the center at the top and bottom edge to cut in half. If this doesn't measure exactly 12 inches, it can be hard to divide in half. To find the center, keep one end of the ruler lined up with the edge and rotate the other end until it's at a whole number. In this case, slide it until the edge reaches 12. Now you can easily mark the center at 6. Repeat at the bottom, then carefully cut in half and put these 2 pieces aside. Turn the other full sheet so it's horizontal. For the pockets, cut 3 strips, each of them 1 3/4 inches wide. Check that you're cutting everything nice and square. Cut a piece 2.5 inches wide for the front base, and the last piece should measure about 4 inches for the back base. Take one of the larger pieces for the front and one of the pocket strips. On the front piece, measure up from the bottom 3 3/4 inches and mark each side. For the top pocket piece, mark each side measuring up 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, or it's 1 inch down from the top. Place the pocket strip on top of the front with the top edge at the marks on the side. Then if you need to, clip together near the top edge. We'll just be stitching across the bottom of the pocket, backstitching at each end. I'm using the Juki TL-2010Q sewing machine. The link for this and the tools I use are down in the description below. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, click the link for Echidna Sewing and Juki Junkies for North America. You can use a standard foot to sew this project, or you can switch to one with an edge guide to make it a bit easier. This is the SP18 presser foot with an 1/8 of an inch edge guide. This guide will help you maintain an even stitch line an 1/8 of an inch from the edge. To prevent bird nesting with your threads, sew a scrap piece of fabric first as a leader before sewing the seams. Butt the bottom edge of the pocket right against the guide and stitch across. Backstitch at each end and trim the threads when done. Place the top edge of the second pocket at the marks on the first pocket. There should be an inch between these 2 top edges and the bottom edges. Clip the sides if you need to and stitch across the bottom. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and leave a comment below. As always, I'd love to know where in the world you're watching from. You can also show your support by becoming a member. Place the third pocket on top, even with the bottom edge. Clip the bottom and make sure both sides are all even. Stitch both sides starting at the top edge of the first pocket and backstitch at both ends. I don't cut the thread at the bottom, I just swing it around and sew the other side from the bottom to the top of the pocket. Take the smaller base and place the front with the pockets on top, match the bottom edges, and clip together at the sides. Place the back piece on top of the larger base, match the bottom edges, and clip together on the sides. Stitch across the bottom on both pieces, backstitching at each end, then trim the threads. Make sure you're stitching with the front and back pieces on top and not the smaller bases. Flip the back piece over and put the front piece on top so that the bases are together in between. Match the top edges and clip together on the sides, then stitch across the top, back stitching at each end. Open up, pull down the bases, and press the seams flat on both sides with your hands. Set up the stand by placing the back base on top of the front base and push together. To adjust the angle, just place the front base on top and push back. There's no need to add any Velcro or snaps to hold it in place. To make a wider stand, you'll need 3 sheets of stiff felt. Stack the sheets together and place them down horizontally. You can leave the width as it is if you want it to be about 12 inches wide. For a 10-inch wide stand, measure across the bottom and top and carefully trim all 3 sheets together. Put one sheet aside and turn the other 2 vertically. Cut 2 pieces 6 inches wide, then cut the other 2 1 3/4 inches wide. Take the third piece and also turn it vertically. Cut another strip 1 3/4 inches wide, and then a strip 2 1/2 inches wide. This last piece will be about 4 inches wide. So again, you have the front, the back, the 3 pockets, and the 2 bases. Mark the front and the top pocket, then stitch together just like the smaller one. For fancier edges, you can use pinking shears like these that cut a little scallop edge. You can also use these pinking blades with different size wave shapes that fit into your rotary cutter. Make sure when you're cutting the strips for the pockets, you're holding the ruler edge at 1 3/4 inches and then running the wavy blade against it. You want it to measure 1 3/4 inches from the lowest part of the wave to the bottom edge. To make a multicolor stand, cut all the pieces the same size as the plain stand in whatever colors you like. Then stitch together exactly the same way, except for the last step if you also want a wavy top edge. For a wavy top edge, instead of 1/8 of an inch, stitch together 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Place the ruler about 1/8 of an inch down from the top edge and very carefully cut across. I hope you enjoy making these stands. Be sure to have a look at some of my other videos. Thanks again for watching. Take care and happy sewing.